Hey everyone! So this is seafood bird's nest, and it is a very traditional Chinese banquet food that you can also have for New Year's as well. And the nest is actually made from shredded taro, so super cool to see. It's a show-stopping piece, so I can't wait to show you this recipe. So the first step is this taro's nest, and I have some shredded taro to the side. And traditionally, it is put between two kind of colanders like that, and you put it into the deep fryer so that it will hold its shape. And I know a lot of you guys are going to say, okay, can we bake it? So this is what I tried doing. And I have to say that if you do have an air fryer, which is what I ended up using, it works a lot better that way, but I'll kind of show you how I would proceed if you just put it in an oven. So you can see that I very liberally brushed both sides of the strainer with oil because this is really hard to get out. And when you put in the layer of taro, it should be all even throughout, but it also needs to be thick enough because otherwise this nest can get brittle and it can break when you take it out of the oven, right? Right, so keep that all in mind, a nice thin layer, but make sure that it's kind of thick enough that they're all interwoven and has some structure. So this goes into a low oven, 250 degrees Fahrenheit for right around 1.5 to almost 2 hours actually. And you essentially dehydrate it. This works so much better in the air fryer. And because there are so much sugars, it burns really easily. So you do want to cook this low and essentially dehydrate it until it gets nice and crispy. So time for the veggie prep and the vegan seafood side of it. Now, if you guys do have access to vegan shrimp from your Asian grocery store, use that. But this is what I found in the health food grocery store is actually tempeh with a bit of nori inside. And that can function, very similarly to shrimp. So just some ideas for you guys. And then at the Asian grocery store, there's a lot of like mock meats. So this is mock vegan abalone because this is a kind of like a seafood bird's nest. There's a lot of different varieties in there, so go and check that out. And then some straw mushrooms as well, which is very traditional in this dish. Now, what's not too traditional in this dish is usually there is use of scallops in here. And so what I've substituted it for is some king oyster mushrooms, which are great because they are thick stemmed, and the end result, if you marinate it correctly, tastes actually very similarly to scallops. So nothing too hard here. We're going to make a basic stir-fry sauce. So I had some of the likumki soy sauce as well as the minced garlic, some sugar if you want in there. So that's kind of the stir-fry sauce. And then on the side, we're going to make a slurry. So just a little bit of cornstarch and a little bit of water. And you'll see why we kind of separate the two when we cook it. So this is the easy part. Dump everything into the pot except your cornstarch slurry mixture. And the reason that we separated it is because we're trying not to use oil for this stir fry. So I'm using that liquid, that half a cup of water, to really cook the vegetables, to soften up everything. So that should take anywhere from between 2 to 4 minutes. Just put a lid on it. And then once it's done, you're ready to add the slurry and cook that for about another minute or so, and then this dish is pretty much done. It's actually really nice to have all of that sauce on the bottom because then it pairs really well with just, like a bowl of rice. So I ended off by seasoning it with a little bit of white pepper, some salt, and then just a drizzling of that likumki sesame oil. Just really brings the dish together. You guys also noticed I put the nest in a bowl because it was actually quite sturdy, but I was worried that once you put the filling in, I didn't want it to break. So that's just an extra kind of level of insurance, and this is pretty much it. That actually looks and tastes so much like scallops, and the little crunchy bits of taro on the side are so good. Anyways guys, I hope you all enjoyed this recipe, and maybe some of you will try to make it for Chinese New Year, which I think begins on February 5th, and it'll definitely be a show-stopping piece. As usual, if you want to see more recipes like this, remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys all again soon. Bye!